सो हे गाइस, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल लर्नर्स एजुकेशन। आज का मेरा टॉपिक है पियाजेट्स कॉग्निटिव डेवलपमेंट स्टेजेस। आज मैं आपको कॉग्निटिव डेवलपमेंट के स्टेजेस कराऊंगी जो कि पियाजेट्स थ्योरी के अकॉर्डिंग। ठीक है, फर्स्ट होते हैं हमारी टोटल होते 4 स्टेजेस होते हैं। सेंसरी मोटर, प्री ऑपरेशनल, कंक्रीट ऑपरेशनल, फॉर्मल ऑपरेशनल। सेंसरी मोटर जो होता है हमारा बर्थ टू 2 ईयर्स होता है। प्री ऑपरेशनल जो होता है 2 to 7 ईयर्स होता है। कंक्रीट ऑपरेशनल होता है 7 to 11 एंड फॉर्मल ऑपरेशनल होता है एडोलेसेंस टू एडल्टहुड, मतलब 12 प्लस या 11 प्लस भी बोल सकते हैं। तो सबसे पहले हम सेंसरी मोटर करते हैं। सेंसरी मोटर जो होता है हमारा होता है बर्थ टू 0 to 2 ईयर्स भी बोल सकते हैं हम इसको। This type of cognitive development stage is characterized by the reflex actions of the infants. In the sensory motor stage, children use their physical or motor skills and senses to explore the world and develop their cognitive understanding. During this stage, infants and toddlers acquire knowledge through sensory experiences and manipulating objects. It was his observations of his daughter and nephew that heavily influenced his conception of this stage. At this point in development, a child's intelligence consists of their basic motor and sensory explorations of the world. Piaget believed that developing is known as object permanence or object constancy, the understanding that objects continue to exist even when they cannot be seen was important element of this point of development. अब जो इसमें एक वर्ड आया ऑब्जेक्ट परमानेंस। ऑब्जेक्ट परमानेंस जनरली होता क्या है? ऑब्जेक्ट परमानेंस ये होता है, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल अगर एक बच्चे के सामने अगर हम एक टॉय रख देंगे, लाइक डॉग का ही अगर हम एक टॉय रख देंगे, ठीक है, तो फिर अगर जब तक बच्चे को वो डॉग का टॉय दिखता रहे तब तक ठीक है, वो उसे देख खेलेगा। लेकिन जैसे ही अगर हम उसके ऊपर कोई कपड़ा ढक देंगे या कोई हैंकी से उसे ढक देंगे तो उसको लगेगा कि पता नहीं कहाँ गया, वो टॉय है ही नहीं वहाँ पे, तो वो ना उसको ढूंढने की कोशिश करेगा। ठीक है, उसको मतलब उस जो अगर उसे लगेगा कि हाँ हैंकी के नीचे अगर वो है तो वो उस हैंकी को हटाने की कोशिश करेगा। तो ये होता है हमारा ऑब्जेक्ट परमानेंस। By learning that objects are separate and distinct entities and then they have existence of their own outside of individual perception, children and then able to begin to attach names and words to the objects. अब नेक्स्ट हम करेंगे प्री ऑपरेशनल स्टेज जो कि 2 to 7 ईयर्स होता है। ड्यूरिंग दिस पीरियड चिल्ड्रन आर ईगोसेंट्रिक एंड डू नॉट हैव द कंसेप्ट ऑफ ऑब्जेक्ट परमानेंस। In this stage, children rely less on senses and physical exploration. According to Piaget, the children are illogical thinkers. At this stage, kids learn through pretend play but still struggle with logic and taking the point of view of other people. They also often struggle with understanding the ideal of constancy. It is during this stage children can be shown that 2 balls of duff are exactly the same size. They will agree that these balls are of same size, but when one is flattened, they will usually tell you that one of them is now bigger than the other. This inability to conserve can be described as a feature of the pre-operational stage. अब थर्ड हम करेंगे कंक्रीट ऑपरेशनल स्टेज जो कि होती है 7 to 12 ईयर्स। दिस स्टेज इज एसोसिएटेड एंड लिंक्ड विद द मिडिल चाइल्डहुड। Kids at this point of development begin to think more logically, but their thinking can also be very rigid. They tend to struggle with abstract and hypothetical concepts. At this point, children also become less egocentric and begin to think about how other people might think and feel. Kids in the concrete operational stage also begin to understand that their thoughts are unique to them and that not everyone else necessarily shares their thoughts, feelings and opinions. In this stage, the children begins to demonstrate much more logical thinking, although they need concrete materials to help them reach the correct conclusions. Therefore, in this stage, the children will start working on mathematical problems but using blocks, counters, or even their fingers to help them work out of the answer. The children of this stage will now able to differentiate themselves from the environment and would also learn about the object permanence and do goal-oriented behaviors. In this stage, the children can arrange things or objects in a sequence. अब हम लास्ट करेंगे फॉर्मल ऑपरेशनल स्टेज जो कि 12 plus years होती है. The stage of formal operations can also be called as the final stage and comprises the turn of our lives. The final stage of Piaget's theory involves an increase in logic, the ability to use deductive reasoning, and an understanding of abstract ideas. At this point, people become capable of seeing multiple potential solutions to problems and think more scientifically about the world around them. It is important to note that Piaget did not view children's intellectual development as the quantitative process. That is, kids do not judge existing knowledge as they get older. Instead, Piaget suggested that there is a qualitative change in how children think as they gradually process through these 4 stages. A child at the age 7 doesn't just have more information about the world than he did at age 2. There is fundamental change in how he thinks about the world. According to Piaget, once we reach the age of 12, we are capable of much more abstract thinking and able to solve problems in our heads. It is during this stage we can deal with more complex issues where children are able to do abstract thinking and are able to develop thinking like adults. So इसी के साथ हमारा आज का जो टॉपिक था वो कवर हो चुका है. हमारी आज की वीडियो ख़त्म हो चुकी है. ये था हमारा पियाजेट्स कॉग्निटिव डेवलपमेंट के स्टेजेस: सेंसरी मोटर, प्री ऑपरेशनल, कंक्रीट, ऑपरेशनल एंड फॉर्मल ऑपरेशनल. ठीक है. अगर आपको मेरी वीडियो पसंद आई हो तो प्लीज़ लाइक एंड शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब माई चैनल. थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग.